Hi, it's a second line day, and in gate 47, the second line is called ambition. The second line, by its very nature, is not something that's aware of being oppressed. It doesn't know that it has to make sense out of things. It doesn't know it has a gift for making sense out of things. The 47 is a mirror, a parallel to the 4 on the other side of the ajna. Yeah, the 4 can always come up with an answer. The 47 can always come up with a sense of something, a realization. Eventually, takes a lot more time. But they have a lot of similarities, the 47 and the 4, both collective gates after all. This projection line, it's not about taking stock or being introspective. This is simply the need to project outwards. The nature of this projection is that the only way to escape the past is to be busy in the present. This is the key to understanding this particular second line. The exaltation says the ambition and drive to overcome personal oppression in order to achieve security, realizing that to be busy is mentally healthy. And this means, of course, that people who carry this line can be quite disturbed. Disturbed in the sense that they cannot make sense out of something and it really bothers them. What they do then is they get involved with something else to try to get away with it. But wherever you go, there you are. You carry everything with you and it always catches up with you in the end. So ultimately it has to be dealt with one way or another. It's very important to understand this about the second line, that they are busy about their business and they don't like to be distracted. This is the same for all second lines. Here, they're just going about their life, everything's fine. And then somebody asks them about something that they have no idea how to make sense of. And they have an anxiety attack. The secret to the abstract way, the human experiential way, is to be there in the experience, because only afterwards can you reflect upon it and truly make sense of the whole process. But you can't do that while you're in it. So being busy is great. It's great to be busy if you are a 47, especially the 47 too. The detriment says an indecisiveness in times of personal oppression, whether to apply intelligence to recovery or accept its weight to take advantage of other prevailing conditions that may only be temporary. The inability to sense when and which activity is healthy. This second line needs to be busy, but the moment that they get interfered with in their life, they don't know if they're being busy about the right thing. And that becomes a kind of mental game and they get stuck in that. It's very important to realize and recognize that the lower trigram has great difficulty in seeking assistance from others, asking for help, because they don't know the other exists. And the other can bring great confusion unless they are living out their own nature, which of course means living out their definition, type, and authority. And it's always about how you enter into anything, because how you enter in is how you're going to experience it. If you enter in as you're a self, then you're going to experience that definition and these lines in the way in which you're supposed to, how you're supposed to operate. And there will be no negative to that. There will just be the experience, whatever it is. Being busy is so essential. It's so essential for the 47 too. Otherwise, they can become very sick. If you have the 47 too and you're not occupied, if you don't have something to do that is of value to you, then the anxiety that is part of the Ajna center can take hold. They have to surrender to their process. And it's only the beginning of the maturing process in the hexagram, because it's not until we reach the 5th line that they can really surrender to their oppression. Ra said that one of the most important things for those with this activation is quality business. Making money is really good for the 47 too. The grounding comes in the 22nd gate in the second line, which is called Charm School. maybe a bit of charm to soften the ambition. I don't know. The grounding here in this one and in the 64 before it, I found these really interesting, so almost conundrums to work out. Okay, so what is this grounding? What is the relationship between the two here? So if you have anything to bring to this, I would really appreciate it. And some of them are so obvious, and some of them for me, it's like, you know, fortune cookies. I've got absolutely no idea what that means. Venus goes into gate 57 at 23:02 this evening. Gate 57, the gate of intuition, intuitive. Oh, there is a word. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna have to look it up now. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Intuitive insight. There we go. 57, the gate of intuitive insight. It's the most diverse and deep of all the awareness gates. And the fear associated with this gate, there's a fear in all of the awareness gates, centers, all the awareness centers, yeah, and gates. It's the fear of tomorrow. So it's important to trust in your intuition here. Oh, it's intuition that can save your life. And this is surely something to value as Venus moves in here. Gate 57 can meet gate 34 in the sacral, gate 10 in the G center, and gate 20 in the throat, bringing to each the awareness of the splenic center and its body intelligence. Those little splenic hits, they can be very quiet and often overlooked, and yet they're your body speaking to you. Especially through the 5720, this is the only direct voice that the body has. There can be a great beauty in the channel 5710, the perfected form. Perhaps Venus will bring an added focus to this. What do you find beautiful? Is it important to you to surround yourself with beautiful things? Do you find value in your intuition, or is it something your mind comes in and kicks out the door as soon as it happens? Just things to ponder while Venus is in gate 57. The moon is still in gate 9, went in at 5:39 this morning. This is the sacral gate of focus. It's the ability to focus and build mastery through correct response. It's the logical part of the logical process. The moon then moves into gate 5 at 16:32. The 5th gate is a generative force in life, connecting the sacral and the G center, shaping patterns and habits. Operating correctly as a generator is crucial to establish the right pattern, but conditioning and conformity to established patterns can be challenges. Now, Mars is in gate 15 currently, so we have a channel for a few hours. This is the channel of rhythm, a design of being in the flow. This channel brings the gift of finding a powerful flow and effortlessness in all of life. It's possible that we could all come into harmony with the life force and with all creation, aligned with the deeper patterns of life, if we all wish together, children. And at 3:17 tomorrow morning, the moon moves into gate 26. This is the gate of the egoist in the ego center. It's a gate of manipulation. It's associated with the immune system and with T cells. It's a gate of protection for the tribe, helping to maintain financial stability. But there may also be an inconsistency here and the potential to make unfillable promises. Unfillable? Unfulfillable. I missed out a full. Promises you can't keep. Watch out. Watch out for making commitments, especially if you have an open ego and the moon is in a transit that maybe defines your ego. This is something to watch out for. So always, I don't think I've said this for a little while, but put the transit with your chart. It's not in isolation. So whatever happens on a day, you know, you put it against your own chart and you see, oh, I've got head and ajna. I don't usually have that. I wonder what that's going to feel like. I will keep out of my head today. But then again, if you've got an emotional definition that you don't usually have, how's that going to feel? Do you suddenly feel yourself rising up on waves of emotion or tapping into that a bit more? having an open ego that gets defined through the transit, that can also bring a pressure to start making commitments that you're not equipped to make. So keep an eye on all of these things, because these centers are all so powerful, and the themes that they have are just profound influences in our lives. And yeah, so please do that. Please, if you like, if you want to, if you feel called to do that, if you have a response to it. Yeah, okay. Enough. I will see you for a third line day tomorrow, and until then, yeah, go gently. Bye bye.